Hey guys, it's me again, Orcslayer. What is? Where we last left off, let's see, checking. Deku and Heller meet after Deku had pretty much ran away from Mercer. Sorry. God. That just feels weird. Alright. Sorry about that. Yeah. Deku had to run away from Mercer because he's downright scared of him. After that, he had to meet up with Heller for a little bit after running into Jefferson, if I remember correctly. He had to run over, meet up with Heller. He also met Father Guerva, I believe is his name. Guerva, whichever. He met up with him and spoke to him a little bit about, and he gave his, like when he heard about Mercer's plan, and Father Guerva talk pretty much got his point of view kind of changed. Deku believing that it wouldn't be that bad of an idea, and that he comes from the personal experience of always being looked down upon, kicked around and such, since he was quirkless. But as he was explaining this, he's like, not everyone's like you, Deku. As he explains that there are very bad people out there, and that they would use these powers and probably go on massive killing sprees if they were given the chance. If you guys remember, in the season 4 or whichever, the one where they fought Overhaul, the guy who took the drug and nearly became a murderous pretty much almost committed a murder because he felt weak, that guy would probably be one of the ones going on rampages. But either way, he changed Deku's mind. After that, Heller and Deku rushed off to see this white light facility, as well as the fact Heller learns who Deku is. Him not knowing who Deku is at all. And Deku pretty much, I'll say this, Deku pretty much tells Heller who his father is, and that if he ever meets him, leave him be. But don't tell him I sent you. Make it seem like he got away from you. You got it? He's like, alright. Sorry. Yawning. But as that is finished, when Deku and Heller were looking at the white light facility, Deku gets knocked away. Heller has the same thing happens to him in the games. Deku comes over and punches Mercer, actually hurting him a little bit. Mercer saying it's not going to be enough, but Heller saying that will bleed you enough times. As that happens, that's when the Goliath shows up, if you've played the game. The Goliath comes lumbering about going wah, wah, and such. As Deku, the Blackwatch are trying to stop it at all costs. Hizashi is still in the red zone dealing with a massive thing. Heller is making his way towards Deku's, because he's making this extremely personal. Deku, is about to run off after Mercer. Heller's like, if we don't stop that thing, it's gonna release the white light and kill everybody in the city. Deku's like, let's break this quick! As he rushes in, rushing down the stairs, sliding down the wall. Blackwatch, oh my god, it's Wyvern! As Heller crashes down right beside him, they both start rushing off. Dear Red Crown, the subject, Wyvern and James Heller, are both attacking this thing! As they start tearing it apart, the Goliath crashes down as it would in the game. Sorry. As it crashes down, Deku and Heller rush forward and slice it in the face, causing the thing to raise upward. The two of them work together as Deku uses his claws, slices through the legs, as Heller slices through the leg with his sword. Deku's like, where do I get that? He's like, kill one of the involved. We'll kill one of the involved and then you get it. Deku's like, okay, I guess if that comes down to it. Rather not, though. Fortunately, you may have to. As they tear the thing to pieces, Heller being the one to take out its eyes, as after Deku has pretty much ripped off the arm. After Heller finishes the thing off, he's like, now go see your mother. As then he gets a call from Father Guerva at that exact same time, hearing that, James, The infected are here. Mercer must have sent them. And Deku rushes off. He's like, I gotta go get my mom. Father Gueva. Heller will be there soon. Gotta go somewhere else. As he rushes off. Quickly passing over the zones and such, he reaches the place they were staying at. Rushing over to the green zone. Sorry, I had to pause for a bit. After that happens, the yellow zone, he rushes over into his apartment where he's staying at and such. At that same time, there's a giant hole in the wall. He walks in there and just sees his mother laying there. He's like, no. So he rushes over. Mom, get up. She's gone. She's already dead. She's been gone for a little bit. Took Deku and Heller 10-15 minutes together to kill that thing, which isn't that long of a time. I don't know, maybe 5 minutes tops. Since Heller and Deku are such effective killers, they took it down relatively quickly. So Deku's holding her. She's like, no. He's holding her in his arms. As Hazashi came back from a little bit, as he sees the giant hole, he rushes up the stairs. He sees Deku holding her in his arms. He's like, no. Well, first he sees Wyvern with the hoodie and such on. He's like, put your hands in the air. I don't want to fight you. He's like, at first he think Wyvern does it. He's like, Dad. As Deku changes and the mask and stuff go away. It's like, Heller, Mercer. It got Mom. But no. As Hazashi comes running over, he's like, why? Mercer killed her. Mercer? Where's that son of a bitch? I'll kill him. It's like, Dad, you can't. There's no way you can kill him. At all. That's impossibility. And he's like, explain this. As he's looking at him, he's like, I got infected a while back. I started cleaning up, as you could say. What about the attacks on Blackwatch? They're murderers, Dad, and they are experimenting on people. I could not allow that. And now that I'm actually glad I did, because apparently Mercer's been infecting the cure with a new strain all along. I think it's a new strain, at least. He's like, I'm sorry. This is my fault. He's like, no. Well, in this time, instead of saying no, he's like, get out of here. He's like, get out of here, you freak. It's like, as far as I'm concerned, you're no longer my son. Now get out of here. As Deku's like, Dad, I said go. With his voice cracking, he's like, go. Just go. So he starts holding Inko closer. She's not infected, by the way. Mercer gave her something better. Because in his eyes, well, he may be an evil guy, but he still wants to at least show some restraint. See, he won't do that for James, though, or Heller. He gave Inko guess you could say, a fate less. Her fate was far better than could have been. That is, known. Because he didn't consume her or anything. He literally just did very quickly and left her there. As Deku flies off, he's like, sorry, Dad. I'll make Mercer pay. As he transforms and starts flying off, he gets into contact with Heller. He's like, Heller, where are you? Tell me now. It's like, whoa, calm down, kid. What happened? Is your mother alright? Nah, Mercer's killed him. I'm gonna find him and rip off his head. It's like, calm. He's like, now Heller's gotta be the voice of reason. He's like, calm down. There's no way you could take him at this point. Neither of us can, even together. We may stand a chance together, but that's it. Listen, I got in contact with Father Gueva's contact, who knows more about Mercer. We meet up with her in the red zone. It's like, fine. I believe Mercer's in the red. not Mercer. I think her name's Athena. Yeah, Athena Mercer or something. Athena, I believe is her name. Forgive me if I'm wrong. Has contacted Heller, and she's like, yeah. Anyways, he's like, I'm bringing a friend, by the way. He's like, what? Who? Wyvern. She's like, no, he's one of Mercer's top enforcers. He's like, no, he ain't. He's a bit of a freelancer, sort of independent from Mercer. I can tell you that much because he just clocked him in the face to save my life. It's like, fine. And he's got a real bone to pick with Mercer. He's like, why? He just found his dead mother's body in the apartment. Oh, he's gonna give Mercer a bad time. It's like, alright, bring him over as quietly as you can. Don't need Mercer finding out my position. Can't he just track you? Probably. But be probably really bad if he knows I'm working with y'all. It's like, that's a good point. As they meet up, he's like, so, give me the information. As Deku arrives in the red zone, just flying over, running around and crushing several things of infected. He's like, Heller, I'm on one of the skyscrapers. Give me the information, I'll head right over. It's like, make sure you aren't followed. Mercer has all kinds of puppets in every place. He's like, true. As he starts he makes his way to the apartment and meets up with Heller. She's in here? It's like, yeah. As they meet up with Athena. As they're speaking, so, what do you need, Athena? As she gives him the explanation she does in the game. And, they start assisting each other in the whole killing them. Heller has already met Sabrina, Galloway, and such, so I'll make that clear. So with that out of the way, Sabrina Galloway, by those who don't know, is an evolved with the unique ability to track every single evolved, except for Heller and a guy in an evolved named Roland in the games. But in this stance, she's unable to detect Roland, Deku, and Heller. But she does not really know about Deku yet. She knows about Wyvern, and she just thinks, oh, that must have been one of the identities the evolved took on. But with her realizing that he's doing a lot of harm to the infected and such, so it may not be Heller, because a lot of the involved and such seem to work with the infected and brawlers and such instead of just butchering them. That's what she sees, at least. But with that out of the way, Deku and Heller start going to work. Deku starts doing everything he can. He helps Heller in some cases as well. Heller takes care of a lot of those side missions and such, and they help each other destroy the white light. Deku's father is involved with this, as Deku pretty much walks around. As he bumps into Hisashi, he's like, sorry man, keep up the good work, as he pats him on the shoulder. Deku has had rare and barely any contact with Hisashi. And I'll be skipping through several weeks for that case, since there's a lot of missions in the game and I'm gonna have to skip over quite a bit of them. They've been working non-stop to inhibit Mercer's progress, pretty much around every corner, just undermining him. As Deku runs around eventually and finds himself into a hive, makes his way down their landing, only to realize that Blackwatch has a presence in this one. It's like, I didn't know Blackwatch could even do this. It surprised me more and more. At this point, I'd say Heller is dealing with one of the, not last missions, but I'll say he's dealing with somewhere close. Like I said, I'm trying to remember. I think the one with, what's his name? Forget his name. I'll say he's doing one of the missions in the green zone. I believe, is where it like goes back and forth. I know that much because I played that game quite a few times. But anyways, Deku during this is clearing out hives. He doesn't really help Heller. He keeps in the red zone, constantly consuming and getting much stronger, seeing that if he doesn't get stronger, he and Heller won't stand a chance in hell against Mercer. Despite that, Mercer may come with more evolved or use other tricks that Deku doesn't even know about, so ensure that him and Heller win this. He's not saying we might lose this, he's saying we will. That's the thing he's saying to himself. As he makes his way into the thing, Blackwatch soldiers like, who the hell are you? He's like, I got cut from my squad and saw this. I dove the second I chanced. The bro was about to jump on me. He's like, oh, really? Take this. As they hand him a gun. Thanks. Ran out of ammo halfway across. Tried to beat some with it, but they just wiped it away out of my arms. Bastards are tough. He's like, yeah, you're telling me. Anyways, gotta push in. Some of us have been cut off. Understood? He's like, yeah, I see. As they start moving, so, how y'all gentlemen been doing down here this lovely evening? It's like, man, you don't even want to know. These things are constantly pouring out of the walls. And some of those brawlers, man, they appear out of these, like, weird sacks. He's like, haven't you tried to pop them? It's like, yeah, and we do, but sometimes it takes fun. Well, I'll say, no. Why would we try that? He's like, well, I don't know what you're doing down here. Trying to secure it or what? Speak. It's like, the nerds are trying to study more of it. Can you believe this? He's like, yeah, fucking nerds. Taking on the persona of a very gruff soldier, trying to mirror Heller in a way. As an infected is about to leap on one of them, he's like, get off him, as he like kicks it, sending it like flying a couple of yards. It's like, damn, man, do you got a strength enhancing quirk or something? It's like, not enhancement, it's all natural. He's like, well, good job, man, you lead. As Deku and them just start leading, clearing the area. Deku does know how to use guns professionally, considering of all the Blackwatch he's killed. So he's quite experienced, you could say. Sure, those aren't his experience, but that's besides the point. Deku then starts, as they start clearing the path, they're like, hey, there's nerds, let's move up. It's like, you got that, boss? He's like, why are you calling him boss? Sergeant's up there. Like, come on, think about it. He's pretty much been leading us the entire time. On your left, as he shouts, on your left, keep moving, move. He's like, yes, sir. Say, all three of them form a triangle and just keep all of them off each other back. They're like, oh, god damn it. Mikenson. Oh my god, that's such a dumb name. But I'm gonna use it, because I'll stick with it. Mikenson, Jackelson. Where have you been? It's like, we've been good, sir. Deku's like, where are all these scents coming from? At first it was trees, now it's this. This is just stupid. Who are you? He's like, I got separated from a squad, sir. Up level. Yeah, whoever you are. Listen, keep focus on keeping those and keep the small infected out. We're here to capture some of them, but only interesting ones. You understand? It's like, oh, yes, sir. As he's like, gotta destroy this lab. As when Deku goes to pretty much, as you would say, I guess I would say try to kill them, something happens. The two Blackwatch soldiers are like, what the fuck? As their sergeants and the scientists are actually evolved. I know that's in one of the missions, but I'll say there's 3 of them this time. And they're relatively powerful. They're like, what the fuck? It's like, whoa, Michelson, and I forget the other name, Jackelson. There we go. They're like, you two should probably get out of here. It's like, wait, who do we shoot? Do we shoot him or them? And he's like, I said for you two to get out of here. As Deku grabs something and throws it over their shoulders, clearing a direct path out of there to where they went. Like, I feel we're outclassing this man. Let's just take a break. He's like, yeah, that's smart, Michelson. As they get out of here, so you're one of Heller's favorites that turned on him. Typical of you and Heller. It's like, I ain't gonna let him do what he's gonna do, because it's gonna be pretty bad. It's like, but if we have one mind, one body. I also care about freedom. We're in America. I thought you understood that. It's like, nah, man. Nah. Well, not nah, but no. As they believe in Mercer, as they would say, you should have had more faith. I've always been... I used to be unwaveringly fanatical, I would say, to All Might. After coming here, I realized something that I probably should have realized a long time ago. I'm quirkless. I never had a shot at becoming a hero, but with this, I do now, but I understand this as well. It's probably lucky that I was one of the ones who received it. And by the looks at it, looks like one bad apple does spoil the bunch. Except for me, I was lucky to be plucked. As he's like, well, see what you got there, kid? We got Poet. Let's kill him. As they start rushing at him, Deku fends, taking out his shield, since he's one of the ones that can hold out multiple different weapons, you could say, at once. Takes out his shield, uses his claws to grab around the guy's arm, and rips it off, like, instantly. With it, he's like, what the? As then Deku kicks him, and he, like, pretty much is thrown forward, and he breaks his back against the wall, falls over, and lands right in between all the infected. The infected pretty much leave that dude alone. He's just waiting there for his regeneration taking effect. Deku's like, now, let's see what you guys got. Takes out his wings, which I'll say do have metal in them, so they can, like, double as some sort of weapons. Well, does that make sense? I'll suggest not. I take that back. Deku just whips out his two claws as he starts fighting them, using his claws to pretty much grab hold of their arms, and pretty much kills the first one with a head sweep, consuming him. Then Deku rushes over to the last one, starts sword fighting him. But this guy has a blade arm, and this is a sergeant. And I mean an actual blade arm, not like the two swords. Deku starts dueling him, pretty much, bringing out his shield to block against this guy. He seems an expert in combat when it comes to that sword, or that arm blade, whichever you prefer. As Deku's fending off his strikes, but it's like very hard, as he feels this guy is a very strong evolved. So as he's pretty much a sword and shield technique versus a great sword. As Deku's fending off each blow while trying to get stabs in, but his strength is pretty much comparable to this guy. Deku starts pushing back with enough force and tries to get enough things on this guy. Deku realizes after a while that sword fighting skills, they are pretty even, in a way. This guy having somewhat of a background in sword fighting, you could say, with his quirk being close to that, where he can generate a giant blade from a single part of his body. So that's where this comes in. Deku then fights through this dude, as then he is able to get close, slice off the arm, takes the arm and stabs it into the dude, then consumes him. That unlocking the blade arm, as he uses it wisely. It's like, this is interesting. But it's... I don't know if that's a good idea. Probably isn't, but I'll do it. Deku swinging it around a bit, but it's a bit different, because it's, instead of being like an arm that, like how Heller's is, it's like a gauntlet blade, where it's like covers on his like elbow, that's where it begins, as it covers his entire arm, leading outward. Sort of like Gypsy Danger in Pacific Rim. It goes all the way up his entire forearm, but his arm is sort of clad in a metal gauntlet that's able to be moved, unlike a pada, which is pretty much you put your hand in the gauntlet and you pretty much grab onto it and use it as a weapon. Deku has free move of his hands though. It's like, this is unique indeed. As Deku pretty much gives it a couple swings, realizing it's actually pretty decent. As then the other guy comes rushing forward after his healing factor has done everything. Comes flying in trying to slice at Deku. Deku pretty much parries and keeps this dude at a distance, taking up a fighting stance, putting up his hands and like having the blade at the ready, sort of like a Spartan. Actually even takes out his shield and holds it like a spear. It's like, let's see what he can do with that, kid. Rushing forward trying to slice into Deku. Deku pretty much sidesteps him and cuts him all the way through, consuming him. Like a sort of swift motion as he cut the dude in half, consuming him. Deku's like, this I can get used to. As he bangs the sword on his shield, he's like, that's right, anyone else? He hears nothing, so he starts killing all the infected and consuming them and then destroys the hive. As he has finished that, Heller has finished up with his mission. They both going to meet up at a place, reporting in. He's like, Deku's like, I've destroyed multiple hives along this place. They aren't getting anywhere. He's like, and I've been taking care of Mercer's little, as he would use, Sorry. Heller saying now he's taking care of Mercer's people in Gintech and Blackwatch. They're getting close and he feels it. Oh, Deku's also like, hey, check this out. As he shows him it, he's like, shows him his blade. He's like, that's different from mine, I'll give you that. He's like, yeah, look at it. It's like, it's pretty cool, I'll give you that. And he also says, can you also summon two weapons? He's like, and I believe Heller does have the possibility, but due to game mechanics, you really couldn't. Like in the game, it shows him having the tendril arms, like when he goes to murder your maker, that mission, shows him having tendril arms as well as the blade arm at the ready. But I don't know if that's just me, maybe I'm wrong. Even Mercer seems to be able to do it, but I digress. With Deku, like, after he's finished talking with Mercer, the radio rings. Hey, Wyvern, you there? It's like, hold on a second. Who's this? As Deku has always had the radio on him. It's like, listen, calling in that favor you owe us. We're in deep shit right now. We need your assistance right now. We're been down by dozens of brawlers and several juggernauts. We need your help, man. It's like, alright, how's Dad doing? He's actually injured right now. Brawlers got too close. He tried to burn them, but some of them got over his eye. Over one of the sides of his face. It's like, listen, I know what happened between you and your dad was wrong. He confessed to us and we kind of had to tell him that we knew. We gave our explanations. We wanted to talk to you, kid, but he hasn't been able to find you. And Deku's like, I've been watching over him, trust me. Alright, where are you? We're over here by the docks. We are in serious shit, man. Help us out. Deku's like, I gotta go. He's like, Mercer's like, where? Well, not Mercer. Heller's like, where are you going? Some Blackwatch dudes found out I was infected a while ago. They're part of my dad's squad. So if they needed anything, that they just had to call me. They just called it in. I'm going to help them. It's like, how about I come and help? No, Dice Man. They think they don't know you. They know who you are and that you've been going on your form of a crusade. I'll do this by myself, man. It's only right that I do it. It's like, alright, kid. Stay safe. You know I can't promise that. He's like, yeah. Anyways, good luck, kid. He's like, no problem. As Deku rushes off to go assist his father and his Blackwatch team on this operation. That was pretty much supposed to be a clean sweep, like a scorch and burn sort of thing. As Deku arrives at the thing, he's like, oh, they are really in deep shit. They're held at the very end of the docks. They're all still there, but they're running low on ammo, and they're pretty much down to, for some of them, using their quirks. Hazashi's trying to use his fire breathing, but he has like a giant thing over his eye. As Deku turns on his wings and starts flying over, taking out his blade. As he starts falling down. As he starts looking down, he lets out his roar as he smashes in the ground, causing it to shatter. As he put force into it and had a hammer fist out, at the same time of having the blade and the wings, he pretty much went Superman style, looking downward. As he went downward, he pretty much put all of his force into it, charging up the spikes as well, smashing it into the ground as spikes just started going everywhere, impaling several things. Several infected and brawlers as well. Deku rushing over, cutting through the head of a juggernaut very swiftly and cleanly. Like he didn't even use his sword to do it. Consuming the creature and just goes around butchering, and I mean butchering everything. After finishing, he takes out his hammer, smashes into the ground. He uses his wings to get assistance when he's leaping through the air. He is bringing out everything. He even uses the tentacle at one, using it as he vortexed a lone brawler, causing several things to just come smashing down on it. Deku then using his blade gauntlet, I would say, slicing through every single living thing there, except for the Blackwatch team. As the smoke has settled, Deku comes walking out. He is drenched in some blood. Deku's like, "Are you guys okay?" He's like, "Yeah, man, we're good." As the brawler comes leaping out, Deku takes his bladed gauntlet and switches it to another hand to make it more effective. In a very quick motion, takes it and lets the thing jump on it. As it jumps on it, it's pretty much impaled, and Deku rips upward. As the thing is split from the, I think would be considered the stomach or the abdomen, and ripped all the way upward, splitting it in half. They're like, "Damn, this kid does not mess around, am I right?" He's like, "Yeah." Hazashi's like, "Deku, Dad." Oh. He's like, "Listen, I'm sorry, Deku." He's like, "You don't have to apologize. I know why you acted the way you did. I probably would have acted the same way." "No, you wouldn't have, Deku. You're far better than I know that much. And listen, after we're done with this, we're almost done. We can go back to Japan. I can possibly get you cleared." He's like, "I technically haven't broken any crimes except, killing Blackwatch agents, which may get me some bad rap. But we're about to save the city, so that maybe that'll get me clear. Or maybe at least I would do a year." It's like, maybe. So, what's happening now? As when he's talking with his dad, a certain somebody comes crashing down. It's like, holy shit. It's like, what? That's Alex Mercer. That's me actually trying to stutter, so sorry. It's like, not able to get even the out. Or that's Alex Mercer. Deku's like, shit. As he turns around, it's like, "Alex, walk away now." He's like, "Why would I? Father's right there, ready for the killing. And I told you, I'd make you suffer. What better way to make you watch your dad die?" It's like, "You ain't getting past me, Mercer." It's like, "Am I?" Takes a big step forward. Deku pretty much bringing out his best arsenal. He's like, "Ooh, sharp. So, you want to play that game, Deku?" Mercer bringing out his sword, his blade, and his sword, and his claws. He's like, "Let's play." Deku's like, "I don't know if I'm ready to kill you yet, but I'm juiced up right now. Just went through a whole thing of juggernauts and brawlers and tons of infected. Let's see how you last." Deku rushing forward and clashing with Alex Mercer. And as they start their entire fight, Deku's like, "Get out of here, Dad. I'll deal with this arrogant prick." He's like, "You wait right there, Hazashi. After I'm through with your son, I'll come for you." Hazashi's just watching what he would probably consider a battle between two, as he would describe it, as As Mercer has described, welcome to the top of the food chain to James Heller when he gets killed. Spoiler. Or gets killed in quotations. There's no way Mercer is killed. I don't think he is, at least. Maybe they bring him back for Prototype 3, because if I heard correctly, there may be that getting released or being in development. I'm not entirely sure. But as I digress, when Hisashi sees his son pretty much clashing with Alex Mercer, he doesn't see his son in Alex Mercer. He sees two giant, unrelenting forces. Alex Mercer being one that's out of control, sort of like completely an ever-shifting, volatile substance, with Deku being a more controlled substance, as you could say. Maybe not as volatile, but still as potent. It just depends on which one outmatches the other. Sort of like a virus. Some viruses are very calculating in some ways, how they would selectively target things, while others would just make you sick and then you get over it, while others quite literally don't take that long to kill you, or are quite gruesome in how they do so. Sort of like that. Like Black Plague, and I would say the Black Death, and what's that one called? Maybe Black Lung or something. I don't know. But anyways, as Hisashi sees this, that's what he sees. Two unrelenting forces meeting together. And unfortunately, this is getting too long, and I'm going to have to think up of an epic battle scene for this. I have been thinking about it ever since I started this series, make no mistake about that. But anyways, I hope y'all have enjoyed this, and I hope y'all continue to enjoy this. I hope y'all have a nice day, nice night, nice life.